I wake, my hand already reaching for the next file in the stack. The fluorescent hum of the office feels a shade too loud, a low thrumming behind my ears. Across the room, Sarah smiles at her monitor, her lips pulled back just a fraction too far, holding the expression for a beat longer than natural. Mark at the next desk types with a rhythmic, almost mechanical precision, his fingers hitting the keys with identical force, his gaze fixed. My own movements feel stiff, slight resistance in my joints. I rub the smooth, cool surface of the river stone in my pocket, a small, familiar comfort. Then I glance up, past the window, past the usual gray of the city skyline. There, suspended in the vast, empty blue, is a translucent bar. It's thin, almost invisible, but undeniably there, and it's filling, slowly, from left to right, like a progress bar on a screen. A percentage hovers beneath it, 17%. No one else seems to notice it. I force my eyes back to the screen. My fingers find the next file. The fluorescent hum vibrates in my teeth now. It is a low, constant pressure. Sarah's smile across the room hasn't changed. The light above her desk flickers, casting her face in an unsettling strobe. Mark's typing is a relentless, hollow clatter. Each key press echoes too long. I try to focus on the data. The words blur. They refuse to settle. A shadow stretches from the filing cabinet. It is impossibly long. It reaches towards my feet. Then it retracts. The light above me dims. It brightens. Then it dims again, permanently. My hand tightens around the river stone in my pocket. Its coolness is a small anchor. I tell myself to breathe, to observe, to wait. But waiting feels like a choice I can't afford. I glance up. The translucent bar now reads 21%. The blue is deeper. No one else looks. My options are dissolving. The words on my screen still swim. I lean closer, trying to force them into focus. My reflection stares back from the dark glass of the monitor. It's not quite right. I shift in my chair, a small adjustment. My reflection shifts a beat later, a subtle, unsettling delay. I raise my hand slowly, watching the screen. My reflected hand follows, but its fingers twitch independently, a small, uncontrolled spasm. I lower my hand. The reflection's hand remains raised for a moment, then drops with a jerk, out of sync. This isn't a trick of the light. This is real. I press the cool river stone into my palm, feeling its familiar weight. My reflection shows my hand, but the stone isn't there. It's just my empty palm, clenching nothing. I try again, moving my head. The reflection's head turns, but its eyes stay fixed on me, unblinking. A cold dread settles. My options are narrowing. I can't ignore this. I push away from the monitor, the reflection's fixed stare still unnerving. My hand goes to the network diagnostic panel, a standard procedure for system anomalies. The interface glows, familiar green lines tracing connections. I initiate a full system scan, hoping to find a logical explanation, a software glitch. The progress bar on the panel begins to fill, mirroring the one outside the window, but faster. It reaches 99%, then freezes. A small red error message flashes. Protocol violation. Self-contained loop detected. My fingers hover over the reset button. Sarah appears beside my desk, her eyes wide and unfocused. They updated the diagnostic protocols, she whispers, her voice tight. Once it hits 99, you can't stop it. It just loops. She doesn't wait for a reply, turning sharply and walking away, her steps too quick. I press the reset button anyway, a desperate commit. The panel flickers. Then, the green lines on the interface begin to draw inward, forming a tight, swirling vortex. The hum of the office shifts, a low, grinding sound now. The diagnostic panel itself feels hot, vibrating against my fingertips. The vortex tightens, pulling at the screen's image, distorting the familiar office layout into a warped tunnel. My options are gone. I can't undo this. I grip the river stone, its coolness a stark contrast to the heat radiating from the panel. The screen goes black, then displays a single, unblinking eye. The unblinking eye on the screen expands, consuming my vision. The office walls ripple, then dissolve into a long, featureless corridor. I am standing in it. The air is still heavy. I start walking. There's no other choice. Each step feels like pushing through thick water. The corridor bends, but the bend doesn't feel right. It folds in on itself, the far end appearing closer than it should, then receding. I pass a door, its number plate smeared, unreadable. I try another, the handle cold, then impossibly hot. I pull my hand back, a sharp sting. A faint, metallic smell hangs in the air, like old blood and ozone. The floor beneath my feet is no longer carpet. It's a patchwork of concrete, linoleum, and something that feels like rough stone. I keep moving, the river stone a smooth weight in my pocket, my fingers tracing its cool surface. The corridor narrows, the walls pressing in, leaving less room with each step. I can feel the old ache in my left knee, a constant reminder of the fall from the scaffolding. It flares now, a sharp, insistent pain. The walls are not just narrowing, they are breathing, expanding and contracting. The sound a low, wet sigh. I can't stop. The corridor walls are still pressing. My knee aches with every step. The breathing sound is louder now, a wet rasp. I press my hand against the rough stone, seeking purchase. My fingers brush against a recessed panel, almost invisible in the dim light. Not a door, but a display. It flickers to life as I touch it. Diagrams bloom across its surface, intricate schematics of the corridor itself. Lines trace pathways, pressure points, and something labeled constraint thresholds. My breath hitches. This isn't random. This is engineered. A small glowing indicator on the diagram pulses, showing my current position. A red line extends, marking a path that only narrows. I try to pull my hand away, but the panel adheres, a faint hum vibrating through my palm. The diagram shifts, a new section highlighted, Systemic Integration, Subject 7. My left knee flares, a sharp, burning pain. The panel pulls my hand deeper, the stone in my pocket digging into my thigh. This is not an accident. This is a design. I can't undo this. The panel hums, pulling my hand tighter. The diagram on it flashes, a new section glowing red, structural integrity critical. A low groan echoes through the corridor. The walls, already close, begin to shift. Not just pressing, but grinding. Dust sifts down from the ceiling, gritty and cold. I try to pull my hand free, but the panel holds fast, vibrating intensely. My left knee, already protesting, buckles under a sudden, sharp jolt from the floor. I stumble, my free hand scraping against the rough wall. The breathing sound intensifies, a wet, mechanical gasp now, coming from within the walls. The river stone in my pocket feels like a burning coal against my thigh, as the panel pulls me forward, forcing me to commit to the narrowing path. A section of the ceiling ahead cracks, a thick support beam groaning, then snapping with a deafening report. Debris rains down. The path is blocked. I can't go back. I can't go forward. The debris shifts, settling into shapes I don't recognize. The grinding walls sound like whispers now, a chorus of hushed voices just beyond the plaster. They know. My hand is still fused to the panel, the vibrations a constant tremor through my arm, up to my teeth. The diagram on it flickers, showing structural integrity at 0%, yet the walls keep pressing, not collapsing. My left knee screams, threatening to give out completely, each jolt from the floor echoing the phantom footsteps I hear behind me, then ahead. I blink, and the light above me strobes, then goes dark for a long moment. When it returns, the corridor is shorter, the debris pile higher, and a familiar face, Sarah's, is pressed into the wall ahead, her smile stretched impossibly wide, her eyes black holes. She doesn't move. She just watches. The riverstone burns, a brand against my skin. I can't tell if the wet gasping is inside the walls, or inside my own chest. The pressure on my hand is gone, but the skin still feels stretched, a phantom grip around the panel that isn't there. I pull my hand back, slowly, the motion stiff, as if breaking a seal. My left knee aches, a deep throb that makes every step a conscious effort, a constant reminder of the buckling floor. The corridor is clear now, the debris gone, the walls smooth and unblemished. Sarah's desk is empty, her monitor dark. Mark types at his, the rhythm of his keys now a dull, insistent tap that seems to vibrate in my teeth. I look at the wall where her face was, and for a moment the plaster seems to ripple, a faint impression of a stretched smile, a shadow of those black holes. I blink. It's gone, but the air still feels thick, heavy, as if the space itself has shrunk, pressing in from all sides. The riverstone in my pocket is cool again, but the memory of its heat lingers, a faint burn against my palm. I can still hear the wet gasping, a low, steady rhythm, just beneath the hum of the fluorescent lights. It's everywhere and nowhere. The wet gasping is louder now, a constant, ragged breath against the back of my neck. Mark's typing has shifted. Each key press, a dull, wet thud. My left knee throbs with every beat, a persistent reminder. I rub the riverstone, its coolness a small anchor. But the phantom grip on my other hand still aches, a memory of resistance. I look at the empty wall where Sarah's face was, and the plaster doesn't ripple this time. Instead, a faint, almost imperceptible seam appears, running vertically, then horizontally, forming a perfect rectangle. It's the outline of a door. Not a new door, but the exact shape of the one I just passed. The one I thought I'd left behind. The air presses in, heavy and still, making each breath a shallow effort. I can't undo that. This isn't a new path. It's the same path, just reset. I am always already here, waking into the next iteration. The horror isn't what happens, but that it always happens again. And my awareness changes nothing. I am just moving through the same loop, forever.